Coming up on A View from the Mountains.
I'm shouting to anyone who will listen that what we're facing in Western North Carolina is a Katrina-type situation.
We spent a week in the mountains catching up with people we met here 4 years ago.
When you look around, I mean, this would be 28 feet of water above us right now. I mean, places that never flooded did.
To see how they survived Helene.
I'm numb. I'm just numb.
And how their communities will try to recover and rebuild.
I don't even know what to say. Is that a train that destroyed your brewery?
Devastated by flooding, but a mountain spirit keeping their future afloat.
It makes me want to do more for my community.
Earlier today, Governor Roy Cooper and emergency officials gave a briefing on the storm and its impacts to our states. Our Evan Seary was in the room. He joins us now from the Emergency Management Center in Raleigh. Evan, what did the governor want people to know?
Rob, good afternoon. The governor and his team with a very clear message. They say this could be an unusually dangerous storm, especially for western and central North Carolina, with the potential for catastrophic flooding and high winds. And already, Rob, we are seeing the impacts of Hurricane Helene being felt in parts of our state. Already 14,000 Duke Energy customers in the state are without power. North Carolinians in areas that don't typically see these conditions, like Asheville and Charlotte, need to be on high alert.
All of the red outlined areas, those are all ongoing flash flood emergencies. Almost too many counties to name, but we'll just say most counties west of I-77, with the exception of Gaston, Lincoln, Cleveland, Catawba, under flash flood emergencies. And we do have that flash flood emergency continuing for Mountain Island Lake and Catawba River down south of there, with the flooding ongoing. So what we're seeing is the rain that had really saturated the ground of the past couple of days. Rivers already, before this heavy rain got there this morning, were at flood stage or even above flood stage in many instances, and now we're having this heaviest rain of the system move through. So it is absolutely pouring right now, anywhere from Rutherford County, McDowell County, Burke County, moving up through Buncombe County, and out of there into parts of Yancey, Mitchell, Avery County, Madison County as well.
The destruction here in Burnsville is just indescribable. As we are driving up Highway 19 west, we can see many parts of it were just washed out, completely destroyed. And this bridge here washed out by the floodwaters that were caused by Helene. You can see some crews right now working to try to repair and give some access to folks who live on the other side, who right now are completely stranded.
And Bruce showed us what happened and shared the memory of his parents.
It was all mud.
Bruce Dockery has traveled these roads around the Grovemont community of Swannanoa all of his life, but never with this much destruction.
Yeah, all this was blocked off the other day.
Never with this heavy of a heart.
As long as I can go into pure logic and I can talk about things and go into logic mode, I'm all right. It's when I get into the other side that things get a little rough.
It's hard to take in and be logical about what happened here, though. A landslide swept away the mobile home where Bruce grew up and where his parents, James and Judy Dockery, still lived. Bruce recalls the agonizing moments, the unknown, and the difficulty of getting here after Helene hit.
Nobody had signal. The phone systems were just down. And my phone started blowing up. And my uncle from South Carolina called me and told me about my dad. Said they had found my dad and the house place was gone. I said, I've got to go. And they said, you do what you got to do. And I couldn't get back to Swannanoa. And all we knew is that my dad hadn't made it and we couldn't find my mom. There were literally entire trailer parks sitting in the road. The road was just gone. I finally managed to get on the interstate and the bridge at Beacon was gone, so there was absolutely no way to get in. Every back road had a small bridge and every bridge was destroyed. Finally parked at one of the destroyed gas stations and I climbed a tree and went across one of the wrecked bridges and was walking through the woods when I heard that my mom hadn't made it either.
What did you do at that moment?
Sit on a log and cry. And pray and cry and pray.
Driving here may be easier now, but emotionally, it's still hard.
I'll admit, when I saw their headboard and their mattress, I just had to hit my knees and cry. Down here is essentially my mom and dad's bedroom and part of their kitchen.
They come all the way from up there.
From all the way up there. And when it came down, their house, part of it landed here, part of it landed here, and the force pushed this house into these people's house.
As Bruce showed us around, we met Jesse Bryant.
This joker is the one that found Daddy and dragged him out and then sat with Mama until help got here.
Until they got here, finally. But I spent every last second with James. We did try, we really tried.
Bryant is a neighbor and Dockery family friend.
Because all of this was so rubbled up, there was no way in or out of either way besides just to carry him. And we found a piece of board up here and we put him on that, and 4 other guys, we put him on our back and carried him out of here. And it was a very long hike, a very long hike.
They got him all the way to the women's prison.
He held all the way in until, about the end of the road. I feel like I got a good solid yes that Judy was out here out of him, and that's about all we could get out of him. And so then that's why I couldn't give up looking for Judy, because I knew she was out here somewhere.
Bruce's parents died just about 2 weeks shy of their 44th wedding anniversary.
I don't believe Judy felt a thing.
No.
I think that impact just, and they went on to heaven together.
Yeah.
And they're together. They didn't have to spend a day on this crazy earth without each other.
Tonight, we're getting into some communities that have been virtually inaccessible up until this point. Let's start this evening in Marshall, North Carolina. That's about 30 minutes outside of Asheville proper, and it sits along the French Broad River. The downtown area is cleaning up after devastating damage from Helene.
And right now, Spectrum News 1 reporter Melody Green is joining us from downtown Marshall. And Melody, you spoke with plenty of people in the community about the shocking devastation behind you.
That's right, Mike and Brittany. We're here in downtown Marshall, where we saw several volunteers and business owners come out today to help clean up this area from the devastation from Helene. I'm going to move out of the way so you can see what's going on behind me. As you can see, there are plenty of piles of debris and mud, and this is a pretty common scene here in downtown Marshall.
There are organizations going into the disaster zone to help, and other local ones who need help themselves. Samaritan's Purse, for example, wonderful organization based in Boone that's always one of the first to help in times of disaster with boots on the ground.
It's not about being a Republican or a Democrat. It's who's going to do the job and who's going to do it better.
The polls are closed, and the people of Tar Heel State have made their voices heard.
We will make America great again. Thank you very much. Thank you, North Carolina.
We've got you covered on the ballots cast in all the major races that impact us all.
We defeated a dozen of the fellas. I just have one more I've got to catch up to.
To the congressional races, where many districts will see a new party representing them after the elections.
I'm the only Democratic Attorney General in the country who represents a state that President Trump won twice.
We'll bring you all the results live all night as they come in.
But of course, we'll have some help with a team of reporters keeping you informed from the mountains to the coast. All that on our comprehensive coverage this Super Tuesday. This is Decision.
Decision 2024.
Our coverage of the North Carolina primaries starts right now.
It is election night in North Carolina. The final ballot's being cast across the state right now. Polls set to close in a little less than a half an hour at 7:30. And we have full coverage of all the biggest races and storylines in North Carolina tonight with our team of reporters spread out all across the state. On the governor's race, we have Rob Wu covering Josh Stein at the state Democratic election night headquarters in Raleigh, and Sarah Rudlane covering Mark Robinson's campaign at his headquarters also in Raleigh. Covering the state attorney general's race, we've got Jordan Kudish with the Jeff Jackson campaign in Raleigh and Nick Buffo with the Dan Bishop campaign in Monroe. We're also checking on the situation in western North Carolina, where Bryn McDonald is talking with local leaders as they hold elections in the midst of recovering from the devastation of Hurricane Helene. It's with the Stein campaign tonight in Raleigh. That's where we begin our coverage. Rob, so how are they feeling?
Pretty good, Tim. As for the festivities, not yet underway here at the Democratic Watch Party. I'm told there's going to be a little bit of a program, some speakers, and then likely a lot of downtime as we wait for the results.
The Mark Robinson campaign saying don't count them out yet. He was very optimistic when we spoke with him earlier today. We caught up with Robinson at a polling site in Caldwell County, meeting with voters and supporters at 6 different counties on his way back here to Raleigh from his hometown of Greensboro.
Says Western North Carolina continues a long recovery process after the devastation of Hurricane Helene across the region. Now, despite the damage in many places, local leaders, they pushed forward with the election on only slightly altered timelines and procedures. Our Brittany McDonald is with some of those local leaders in Asheville tonight, talking with them about their experience and what they need. Brittany?
Yeah, Tim, we are sitting at what used to be a bustling brewery here in Asheville, one of the many businesses that was thriving. People love to come to, and now you can see it's just a site of destruction. You can't even really make out what it used to be. But that's why we're here tonight. We want to keep the mountains in the forefront of everyone's minds, especially on election night. This is a pinnacle night for this community getting back on their feet.
I want to start off by just getting your first name, what you do for a living, and where you get your news.
My name is Dania. I manage a bakery, and I get most of my news from TikTok and Twitter.
My name is Roger. I'm a 41-year veteran of the Navy. I spent the first 31 years active duty in the submarine service.
A global pandemic at our doorstep.
We have confirmed our first presumptive positive results for the new coronavirus in North Carolina.
COVID-19 spread rapidly across North Carolina and the country.
I don't want to lose any more North Carolinians to this pandemic.
The virus changing life as we know it.
The biggest challenge was the emotional toll.
From the effects on the healthcare industry to education.
There were definitely some gaps post-pandemic in math and reading.
To long-haul health problems still being felt to this day.
We want a cure. I want to get better.
Spectrum News 1 is putting COVID-19 under a microscope to see the impacts it still has on our lives 5 years later.
Step out and face away.
Please don't shoot me. Please, man.
I'm not gonna shoot you.
I'm not that kind of guy, man. Take a seat. Yo, I'm gonna die in here. Stop moving. Mama. Mama.
About 9 minutes.
I can't breathe off of
More than 1,100 miles away.
Jack his pulse.
Sent shockwaves
What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Now.
across North Carolina.
Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
George Floyd's death in Minneapolis sparked a nationwide movement and change in our state from the mountains to the coast.
That was completely unacceptable, and they need to be charged.
They're throwing stuff at the police. Protests in downtown Raleigh destroyed businesses.
It's crazy out here, man.
Like this one Muhammad once owned.
I've been working for 7 years, saving my money, and I really feel sad, man.
Demonstrations in Charlotte ended with protesters trapped in a parking deck.
And there goes another one.
We take a look at where the movement stands. Has it stalled, gained momentum, led to changes in police policies? This is George Floyd 5 years later.
Everyday Heroes, presented by Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation.
Hundreds of kids in our state have a place to lay their heads at night thanks to an organization focused on providing beds. Volunteers with the organization build those beds by hand.
Yeah, I've got their story this morning as we learn about the impact of their work in this week's Everyday Heroes.
I'll ask you to please be patient at the start because it always takes us a little while to get things organized.
On a Saturday morning when these volunteers could be at home in their beds,
Sand it like your grandkid was going to be sleeping in it.
They're instead gathered to construct beds for others in the parking lot of Independence Mall in Wilmington.
We build beds for kids between the ages of 3 and 17 that don't have a bed of their own. And we provide those beds free of charge to the families just for the asking.
Tommy Underwood is president of the Wilmington chapter of the national nonprofit Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
We've delivered to teenagers that have never had a bed of their own. And it's just such a tears at your heart when you see that. You can tell we're making an impact.
That impact drives Terry Kessler, who was one of about 45 volunteers on this day.
The thought of children not having a place to sleep is just heartbreaking to me. They can't go out and do it for themselves. And so I love that volunteers can get together and make a difference in one child's life.
Volunteers with this chapter deliver 20 to 50 beds a month. Since they started 2 years ago, they've built more than 700 beds.
We've been so blessed by this space.
They build and store the beds in this space inside the mall.
They were generous enough to offer us this space to work out of. It's an empty storefront to them, but to us, it's a godsend.
The organization relies on donations. It takes about $300 in materials to make each bed. Those donations, this hard work, help donors, volunteers, and the kids they help rest a little easier.
Oh, it helps me sleep at night. It's just a wonderful feeling to be able to help someone. And when we have so much to do something simple like this, sanding a board or dyeing a board or putting, screwing some nails or screws in, it's just a wonderful feeling.
Welcome back. This week we're going in focus on Helene, 9 months after the storm. I'm here in the town of Black Mountain, and this is one of the sites that Duke researchers came out to study fungal growth that sprung up after the storm. I recently took a trip to their lab to analyze some of their findings, and here's what they had to say.
Here we have one named Aspergillus sidowii, and this is a coral and human pathogen. And this one here is called Fusarium.
In January, a Duke University team of researchers traveled to Black Mountain in hopes to answer why people were feeling sick after Helene.
We wanted to see, after this 1,000-year flood event, what was affecting our friends and family in their homes.
Dr. Asiya Gusa helped launch the research lab called CLIFF, the climate and fungi team, to investigate, starting with hundreds of samples taken from both cleaned and untouched sites after Helene.
And this was really like a 1,000-year event that Western North Carolina had really never seen before. But we were aware that you often get these fungal blooms after flooding events, like after Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Rita, Hurricane Harvey, that have happened in the recent past.
Each delicate swab, followed by careful growth in these petri dishes, is now helping the team identify fungi as friend or foe.
These are fungi that were found in the buildings in Black Mountain.
Today, they're working to learn if they could be to blame for any respiratory or health issues that people reported post-Helene.
We're still early on, but we took a lot of samples, and we've gotten now to the point where we're able to identify, or we're growing the different species of fungi that we found and isolating them.
And we're continuing to bring you all of the action both on and off the court with our team coverage. We have our Caroline Blair in Birmingham, Alabama. She's been hanging out with fans, excited to see the women play this weekend. But first, we want to start with our sports director, Mike Solarte, out in Newark, New Jersey. Duke is trying to reach the Final Four as they take on Alabama tonight. Mike, what can we look forward to in this matchup?
Well, I think the one thing you can look forward to in this matchup is an outstanding ball game. Two very, very good teams. Every game in the tournament gets tougher. This is no exception. Both Duke and Alabama, ranked in the top 10.
Turning now to the other Blue Devils, the Lady Blue Devils prepare to take on last year's reigning national champions, the South Carolina Gamecocks, in the Elite Eight. And our Caroline Blair has been following all the action for us down in Alabama. She joins us now from Legacy Arena. Caroline, we had a tough day yesterday for two North Carolina teams, but not the Duke Blue Devils.
Oh, you're right about that, Rachel. Not the Duke Blue Devils. The ladies still dancing here in the NCAA tournament. Certainly a tough loss for NC State on Friday night. They took on the 2023 LSU Tigers, national champions of the NCAA tournament. But again, you said it, Duke beating UNC, their Tobacco Road foe. First time the two teams have ever met in NCAA history.